Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between. It is, let's see, June 28th, 2011, and here we are again. Let's see, so, sorry about the hiatus. It's taken a while for my voice to recover, especially in the upper ranges after Pride Parade this Saturday. Oh boy, that was fun. But yeah, several hours ago, woo, and among other things, kind of wore out my voice pretty well, so I'm not even sure if I'm fully recovered right now, but let that be a good lesson to you while you're doing voice practice. You should never push yourself too hard, because if you force yourself too much, which I did sort of when I was whooping and yelling, you can sort of lose your voice for a little bit, at least your upper ranges. Or possibly damage something, which is not what you want to do. You want to just do a slow and steady practice and slowly develop some skills. So let's see, general schedule. I'll have a video tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, then I'll be out of town for the next weekend, or for the weekend coming up, and I'll be back on, probably post a video on July 5th, so next Tuesday, so a week from today. So 3 videos this week, and then back on a regular schedule up to the 4th of July weekend, basically. Okay, so let's see, we're reading through, this is video number 7 of Sun Tzu's The Art of War. We have finished one of the introductions. I thought originally they were going to get to the text itself, to the 13 chapters, but there's actually considerable distance to go for that. We are actually, overall, we are working through the various texts that the original author, Lionel Giles, the original translator, not author, the author was Sun Tzu, if he existed, I'm not quite sure if you've been paying attention. But the original translator, which we know definitely existed, was Lionel Giles, and that was late 19th century or 20th century. Anyway, so now we're entering a section called the text of Sun Tzu, The Art of War, but he's actually just going to talk about the text. Then next, after that, he's going to talk about various commentators, because the actual text is punctuated by historical commentators. This is a very old book. This is older than, say, the New Testament or something like that. It goes way back. So there have been a variety of historical commentators, military strategists, what have you, scholars, who have made their comments throughout history about one aspect or another of this text. So there's that. As always, the text is from Project Gutenberg, your source for all ancient books. Let's see. As always, plenty of water. And we are beginning, if you're checking on the Project Gutenberg text, we're beginning right where it starts saying the text of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, or the text of Sun Tzu. So, let's see. And now we can begin. That's weird. I kind of find that kind of helped me get the starting pitch a little bit. But like I said, it's a long road. It's a slow road. I'm just here to make a fool of myself and get a little practice in. And not there yet. Got a very long road to go, but we'll get there when we get there. And it's a journey, not a race. So, all right. Whew. Without further ado, here we go. Sorry. Okay. Yes, that's what the world needs to see. Videos of me drinking water. Anyway. Okay. The text of Sun Tzu. Isn't terrible. I have found it difficult to glean much about the history of Sun Tzu's text. The quotations that occur in early authors go to show that the 13 chapters of which Sima Qian speaks were essentially the same as those extant now.
We have his word for it that they were widely circulated in his day, and can only regret that he refrained from discussing them on that account. Sun Tzu says in his preface, during the Qin and Han dynasties, Sun Tzu's art of war was in general use among military commanders, but they seem to have treated it as a work of mysterious import and were unwilling to expound it for benefit of posterity. Thus it came about that Wang Wu was the first to write a commentary on it. As we have already seen, there is no reasonable ground to suppose that Xiao Ku tampered with the text. The text itself is often so obscure that the number of editions which appeared from that time onward so great, especially during the Tang and Song dynasties, that it would be surprising if numerous corruptions had managed to creep in. Toward the middle of the Sun period, by which time all the chief commentaries of Sun Tzu were in existence, a certain Qi Tianpo published a work in 1512 entitled Sun Tzu with the collected commentaries of 10 writers. There was another text with varied readings put forward by Chongfu Satsing, which has also had supporters among the scholars of that period, but in the Ming editions, Sun Tzu tells us these readings were for some reason or other no longer put in circulation. Thus, it was until the end of the 18th century, the text in sole possession of the field was one derived from Ji Xingpo's edition, although no actual copy of the important work was known to have survived. That, therefore, is the text of Sun Tzu, which appears in the war section of the Great Imperial Encyclopedia, printed in 1226, the Ku Chinsu Shu Chi Chang. Another copy of it is visible for what is practically the same text, with slight variations, is that contained in the 11 philosophers of the Zhou and Qin dynasties. The Chinese, printed in Captain Calthraf's first edition, is evidently a similar version which is filtered through Japanese channels. So things remain until Sun Tzu, a distinguished antiquarian and classical scholar, who claimed to be an actual descendant of Sun Tzu, accidentally discovered a copy of Qin Tianpo's long-lost work when on a visit to the library of the Shanyan Temple. Appended to it was the I Shu Chang Xin, mentioned in the Tun Chu, and also believed to have perished. This is what Sun Tzu described as the original text, edition, or text. A rather misleading name, for it cannot by any means claim to be set before us as the text of Sun Wu in its pristine purity. Ji Tianpo was a careless compiler and appears to have been content to reproduce the somewhat debased version current in his day, without troubling to collate the earliest editions then available. Fortunately, two versions of Sun Tzu, older than the one discovered in the work, which still extant, one buried in the Tiantian Zhu Yu's great treatise on Constitution, the other similarly enshrined in the Tiaopia Yuan Encyclopedia. In both, the complete text is to be found, though split up into fragments, intermixed with the other matter, and scattered piecemeal over a number of different sections. Considering that the Yuan Wulan text as back to the year 983, and the Tiantian about 200 years further still, to the middle of the Tang dynasty, the value of these earliest transcripts of Sun Tzu can hardly be overestimated. Yet the idea of utilizing them does not seem to have occurred to anyone under Sun Tzu, acting under government instructions, until Sun Tzu, acting under government instructions, undertook a thorough recension of the text. This is his own account. Because of the numerous mistakes in the text of Sun Tzu, which his editors had handed down, the government ordered the ancient edition of Tianpo should be used, and that the text should be revised and corrected throughout. It happened that Wu Yanpu, the governor of Pikuo, and the Sioux graduate of the second degree had all devoted themselves to the second, probably surpassing me therein. Accordingly, I've had the whole work cut out and blocks as textbook for military men.
Alright. Whew. Okay, that is significantly harder than last week. Currently, I'm either lost a little bit over the course of the weekend, or hopefully nothing permanent that I have to relearn. But I'm thinking I'm still feeling a bit from the weekend. So that's it for tonight. We'll pick up right from here tomorrow. We will finish the section on the text, like sort of the history of the text, like how it's been passed down through the ages. I guess I gleaned this section to start looking at. After that, we'll get into a section called the commentators, which discusses a little bit about the history or background of each of the commentators, and then appreciations of Sun Tzu, some background on the war. I don't think I'll read through the whole bibliography. That's going to get a bit ridiculous. And footnotes as well. But after that, we should get right into the 13 chapters with chapter 1, laying plans. So, I'm not sure how we'll get tomorrow, but that's it for tonight. This voice practice session number 7 on June 28th, 2001. I am Danielle, and good night and good luck.